Well, I will come to the Doha statements that have come from the Qatar meetings is also the Troika, extended Troika. But Khattak Saab, just sticking to the situation that you just spelled out and what's happening on the ground. According to you, there are US intelligence reports that say it'll take 90 days for the Taliban to reach Kabul. But according to you, is the time shorter? Are we talking about days? Is it a matter of days now?
Yes, because Kabul is under siege. And we saw, falling of different provinces, one after another. So you see, Taliban fighting in all the 34 provinces of Afghanistan simultaneously, having a supply line behind them, intelligence, reconnaissance, everything was in place militarily. So it is really something that can be done, or it can't be done by non-state actors alone unless they have strong state support.
Well, so you're saying a matter of days. It couldn't have been done without state support. I see the smugness with which certain quarters within Pakistan are looking at developments in Afghanistan. They're gleeful about the fact that the Taliban is returning. They're gleeful and not really concerned about the fact that there's absolute chaos in that country today. When you speak of foreign support, when you speak of state support, are we talking about, let's be clear about this, are we talking about the ISI? Are we talking about the Pakistani establishment, and without whom the Taliban could not have been this strong and arm twisted itself into the negotiating table?
Well, Taliban have been the most allied ally of Pakistan since mid-90s, when they came into being in 1994. So how can an insurgency continue to exist for more than 2 decades, 21 years, without sanctuaries, without support? So they were all the time based in Pakistan. There is no doubt about that. But I think it's even beyond Pakistan. I think even, I believe the US probably also wanted to inject Taliban into Afghan system because of the new Cold War, which is unfolding in this region. So I believe the US knew Taliban very well, because Taliban are the product of the same jihadist industry which was built by American and Arab support in 1980s. The same religious seminaries, the same training facilities, launching pads in Pakistan. So everything from the 90s was in place. It was there. It was never dismantled. And the Americans knew this. So I don't think they have made some mistake. I think it's part of a greater game in this region, which probably this is a moment of introspection for South Asian nations and countries.
I'll come to what the impact it could be for India, but within Pakistan, I see quarters, people like you. There are many who are not happy about the Taliban returning. It's only the establishment and those supporting the establishment who are now smiling about the entire state of affairs in Afghanistan. But there is a major quarter within Pakistan that is questioning, should such extremist conservative force return to a neighboring country?
Yes, it is bad for Pakistan. You see, ascendancy of Taliban in Afghanistan wouldn't be confined to that country. We have an experience about that. In the past, we have seen Talibans rising in districts near the Duran line, and they were not confined even to those districts. In 28, 29, 2010, they used to launch attacks in Islamabad. Even they were there in Karachi. 40% of Karachi used to pay extortion to Taliban organizations in the southern end of Pakistan. The Pakistani economy, you see, has not developed because of this militancy, because of this extremism.
And support to militancy and funding the militancy.
Yes, of course. You see, these factories that produce Taliban in Pakistan also pollute Pakistani political and social and cultural atmosphere. And these religious seminaries, there are 36,000 seminaries. And hundreds of thousands of Afghans are students here. So you see this cannon fodder going into Afghan war. There is 40 years of experience behind it. the machine which is producing them is in operation from the last 4 decades.
Khattak Saab, the fact that we know Afghanistan really requires support right now, but has not been finding any support, like you in one of your tweets said, that there isn't much when it comes to outcome from Doha, that the international community today needs to come together and stand by the Afghan administration, so much so that there are reports of Ghani now trying to make a speech, deliver a speech for a transition. He could very well step down because the United States of America is now or has now bowed down to the wishes of the Taliban.
You see, I'm really shocked to see the indifference in international community towards the humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan. You see, common Afghan is without any state protection. There are massacres, there are lootings, there are abductions in different provinces of Afghanistan. And the word is just indifferent. It's really shocking. I mean, where is the UN Security Council? Where are the international humanitarian bodies? And where are people who register war crimes committed against common people in Afghanistan? So I think it's a very bad situation, ugly situation. And I think the big powers and those who run UN have the responsibility for all this.